Yeah, she don't need approval. She don't need permission. She just is. Clock it. Clock it. Yeah, clock it, clock it. You can't copy, you can't.
And what's good, what's good, what's good? Hope all is well. Welcome to your karma you build. No, I gotta change that, y'all. I don't like that. I forgot to change that. Anyway, how y'all doing tonight? It just hit me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I will be changing the name to my channel. So, anyway, as of August 2026, on this episode, August 6th, okay, 2026, on another episode, okay, tonight right here, we will be discovering who is running for president in 2028. Now, let me tell y'all something, y'all. It's crazy to me. Oh, my bad. So the people who are voting, it is not a game, y'all. It is not a game. Let's get into this. Like the video, share the video. Oh my God, we are back with another video. And in this video, we are going to be talking about who's running for 2028. Now, let's be clear. As of August 2026, the 2028 U.S. presidential election is still more than 2 years away. Keep that in mind. And most candidates have not officially announced their campaigns. However, these are some of the people most often discussed and potential containers. Okay. So first of all, I want to start with JD. Okay, JD Vance, the Vice President of the United States of America, widely viewed as a leading potential candidate. But I'm gonna have to scratch that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when he went on Joe Rogan show, and Joe Rogan, okay, you know, they was talking about some things. I don't think he's even gonna be eligible. Okay, he done pissed the Jews off. Let's land with that. Now, we have Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is the worst senator of all time. Always have been in any part that he has ever played. Okay? Rubio, associated with the conservative positions, right? Then we have Glenn Young, whatever his name is, Youngkin, right? Then we have Sarah Huckabee. Sarah Huckabee, this is for the Republicans, okay? Sarah Huckabee Sanders is running, okay? Potentially. I don't know if it's true. Then we have Tim Scott, Republican. Then we have Democrats, right? Over here we have the Democrats. Gavin Newsom. Hell no. Hell to the hells of no's, to the everlasting ever knows, okay? That right there will be a disaster. Oh my God. Now we have Pete Buttigieg, whatever his name is. We have Andy Bashir, Andy running for Democrats. Then we got crazy Cory Booker. America would totally be a disaster. I don't ever or never will ever find him eligible to run for president. Not Cory Booker. That's insanity. And then going down the line, it becomes more sanity. Smash that like, yo. Abuse the like, bruh. Her in the end, right? That part when America was broke and she won. Yeah, y'all remember that? It is crazy. Cory Booker, hell no. Hell no. Kamala Harris Everybody's in regret from last year for not voting for her. Okay? Everyone is still in regret for not voting for her because look what Trump had did. But Trump was cleaning up. I mean, it would have been nice if he didn't go left or right. The way he went about it was horrible. But he was definitely undoing what the Democrats have done. Now, however, Trump played his true cards in the end. As y'all can see, he would try to run next again. I don't see, how can I say it? I know people are living in regret right now for not voting for her. And now they feel like guilty because they think she's going to do a better job. She didn't do hardly nothing when she was vice president. She was already vice president. Let's keep this in mind, y'all. Okay? So, they want to, destabilize America, run America into the gutter. Y'all know the half, right? All orchestrated. People are going to be so desperate, they will vote for Kamala Harris. Okay? And that's crazy because it would be her versus Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Okay, keep that in mind, y'all. And then not only that, is the first woman ever to be president, right? They would call her the first black president. It's crazy, y'all. Anyway, I had to come through with the come through, get into some information, give y'all illustration, and make some predictions. It's still too soon. They have an election, a presidential election, okay, coming up soon. They're gonna have to, tell us what they're gonna do. But Kamala Harris versus Sarah Huckabee. I'm making this prediction. I don't know why. I want y'all to see Sarah Huckabee. Let me go and show you Sarah Huckabee. Sarah Huckabee, right? Hold up. Let me just do this. Let's go to her right here. And then let's do this. Let's go to no. Hold up. I want y'all to see her swag, okay? She got a little old right now. She's the governor of, what was it? Is it North Carolina? Something like that. Anyway. So, oh, wait. And let's go to, type in.
There's a secret society in Vegas.
Okay, so let me see. Let me show y'all her who she was. Okay. As okay, anyway, that's it right there. Let's do it. Okay, so I want to show y'all something because she is already the governor. Okay, when you are senator, governor, you automatically eligible to run. I don't know where they get this idea of her running, but it would be something from the Republicans, right? Check her out.
Not only do my kids serve as a permanent reminder of what's important, they also keep me humble. So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble. Not only do my kids serve as a permanent reminder of what's...
Damn. And there it is. Decode Dematria in real time. Y'all get it here first. You get it here first. And the only reason why you get it here first, because it came to me in a download first. And something was just like, oh my God. I was on TikTok with some folks and we was talking about this. And I had pulled the runners up, or even the thought of it, right? But it makes sense. It makes sense. It was made clear.
Important. They also keep me humble. So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble. Not only do my kids serve as a permanent...
This is good, y'all. This is gonna be crazy. Crazy work, y'all. Okay? Crazy work. Why did I do this? I don't know why I did it, but I was sent to do it. Really sent to do it. And on this channel where it says, welcome to your karma. Is that a sign? That's a sign to me. That is a sign to me, because I already know what it is. So country broke. You know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris is gonna be stuck with these wars. Any one of them. Okay.
What a powerful story to follow. Good evening. I'm Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And before I get started, I want to say I have always been proud to stand with President Trump, but never have I been more proud than to stand with him right now, tonight. Not even an assassin's bullet could stop him.
Imagine if Ivanka was running for president. That would be crazy, because how would she run? It was predicted that in a time traveling situation, she was the president one time. Weird, right? As the divine feminine energy begins to rise, along with the celestial, it's going to get crazy, y'all. It's going to get crazy.
God Almighty intervened because America is one nation under God, and He is certainly not finished with President Trump.
And this after what Trump did. After what Trump did to the country.
Your book makes it clear that you're heavily guided by your Christian faith and family values. How do you reconcile that with having been the spokesperson for a president who has misled the American people on everything from coronavirus to climate change, who boasts about grabbing women on the pussy, who paid hush money to a porn star to keep her quiet about their alleged relationship, and who's maligned the men and women of America's armed forces?
Oh, well, some of those things are just patently false, but I can tell you from my experience, when the liberal mob was attacking me, when the liberals were kicking me out of restaurants, making fun of my hair, my makeup, my fitness to be a parent, saying I should be choked, telling me that I'm vile, not even human, it was the president who was defending me, not the liberal mob, not the elitist who claimed to be all about women's empowerment, but Donald Trump was the one who supported me, defended me, and encouraged me and gave me confidence to take on that job.
I notice that you're not addressing the central premise of my question, which is how somebody like Donald Trump squares with the values you espouse.
Look,
players. I can't make this shit up. Sarah slanders and her taint sniffing strikes again. So as we know, Sarah is running for governor of Arkansas. And because she needs those votes from the frumpy dump taint sniffers, she is now encouraging them to get vaccinated. Now I have no problem with her encouraging people to get vaccinated, but it's the way she did it.
And even short sentences, I guess. There's a very big, I'm sorry, I'm not finished. There's a very big difference between making honest mistakes and purposefully misleading the American people, something that happens regularly. You can't say, I'm not done.
We or our friends could get shot at school. Specifically, can you tell me what the administration has done and will do to prevent these senseless tragedies?
I think that as a kid and certainly as a parent, there is nothing that could be more terrifying for a kid to go to school and not feel safe. So I'm sorry that you feel that way.
She's done an
Okay, so boom. I know you guys know that I tend to lean a little left, but Arkansas is in the middle of a historic election where we could elect our first female governor. And I thought it would be cool to do a little deep dive on the candidacy of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. So let's get into it. Okay, y'all, here she is, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Now, you might recognize her as the former White House press secretary for Donald Trump from 2017 to 2019. But she's a good old local girl from right here in Arkansas. Now, Ms. Sanders is making the case that she is a good old-fashioned Trump Republican. And you may like that, you may not, but let's get into her website a little bit. All right, here's a little snippet from her website. You see the first thing that she talks about is being the press secretary for Donald Trump. She goes on to mention that she worked closely with him for 2.5 years, that she battled with the media, but worked closely with lawmakers and CEOs, and that she went everywhere with the president. Now let's examine that verbiage for just a second. She battled with the media. Crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. Okay. Crazy work, y'all.
That's a weird way to describe your job description. I mean, that's what the press secretary does. They talk to journalists. However, Ms. Huckabee Sanders presided over the longest stretches of time where the White House did not hold a press briefing with the press corps. And actually, she set records for this. And when she did take the podium, she was often combative with journalists, and she was often presenting alternative facts. She also said she worked closely with lawmakers and CEOs. If you're working with lawmakers and CEOs, seems like the things that you would be talking about would be the things that are in the best interest of CEOs, and not the good old-fashioned working class here in Arkansas. But go off, I guess. After she left the White House, she's been spending her time building her profile for her governor run. And she was a contributor on Fox News, and she became the spokesperson for a couple of different political action committees. Now, here's where sis gets problematic. She has certainly called into question the legitimacy of same-sex marriage and the rights of the LGBTQ community. And she has not really been a supporter of common sense gun reform. Additionally, all that work with CEOs has left her out of touch with the farmers of this state. And she's made gaffes about children being just as safe in the womb as they are in the classroom in the wake of the Uvalde, Texas shooting. Now, she falls right along party lines. So if you are pro-life and anti-common sense gun legislation, or if you're not really for, raising the pay of teachers in this state, then she might be the candidate for you. But if issues like education or healthcare in the state are weighing on your mind, then maybe you should shop for a different candidate.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. How it started. Socialism destroys nations, but freedom unifies the soul.
When I was President Trump's White House press secretary, the best job. I got the chance to take my 4-year-old son, Huck, to bring your kid to work day. Much like Jill now drags Joe to bring your husband to work day. When I was President Trump's White House president.
Hi, Caroline. I'm Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor for the great state of Arkansas.
Not even an assassin's bullet could stop him.
It's very clear that Russia meddled in the election. It's also very clear that it didn't have an impact on the election.
So there are 5 people taking the Fifth Amendment, like you see on the mob, right? You see the mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
It's very clear that Russia meddled in the election. It's also Arkansas has some of the most transparent FOIA laws in the country, and these reforms will do nothing to change that. But some are weaponizing FOIA and taking advantage of our laws to hamper state government and enrich themselves. They don't care about transparency. They want to waste taxpayer dollars, slow down our bold conservative agenda, and frankly, put my family's lives.
You know, I went out to eat with a friend recently also, JF.
Interesting.
My friend Sarah Huckabee.
It's very clear that Russia meddled in the election.
Like you see on the mob, right?
And taking advantage of our laws to hamper state government and enrich themselves. They don't care about transparency. They want to waste taxpayer dollars, slow down our bold conservative agenda, and frankly, put my family's lives at stake. The last point is very personal. I had to deal with credible death threats when I was in the White House, becoming the first White House press secretary in the history of our country to require Secret Service protection, something that is generally reserved for the president, the vice president, and their families. When I was campaigning for this office, we had violent people track our movements to try to do us harm. A man near Russellville was arrested for threatening to shoot me. And just last month, a man in Oklahoma pled guilty for trying to kill me.
You know, I went out to eat with a friend recently also, JF.
Interesting.
My friend Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Right.
And we were treated very unfairly at this restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
What did they do? What was the situation?
Well...
Hi, I'm Noah, and I roast famous figures. Today I'll be roasting Governor of Arkansas, former White House press secretary, and a woman who always looks like someone off camera is poking her with a sharp stick.
When I was President Trump's White House press.
It's the first time I'm speaking about this lady.
Yeah,
so
this is crazy.
Yeah, so her name is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's a Republican governor for Arkansas. So she signed an executive order. This is like one of the first things she did as governor, banning the term Latinx to be used in state documents. And that's where I got offended, right? Like, I'm not someone who's necessarily in like the LGBTQ community, but I am an ally, and I think if there's a word that makes people feel more included, why would you take that away from them? It's the first time I'm speaking about this lady.
Yeah,
so
this is crazy.
Yeah, so her name is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's a Republican governor for Arkansas. So she signed an executive order. This is like one of the first things she did as governor, banning the term Latinx to be used in state documents. And that's where I got offended, right? Like, I'm not someone who's necessarily in like the LGBTQ community, but I am an ally, and I think if there's a word that makes people feel more included, why would you take that away from them? It's the first time I'm speaking about this lady.
Yeah,
so
this is crazy.
Yeah, so
Look. He's a real nowhere man sitting in.
Okay, these women are more likely to be nominated out of these, and like I said, it would be it would be Kamala Harris versus Sarah Huckabee. Yep. Can't make this shit up. And I had got a strong feeling about this. So, here we go. Like the video, share the video. Okay, you get it here first. This is crazy, y'all. I just want you to know this is crazy. Super crazy. Like the video, share the video. If you're feeling my content, please and thank you. And I will be changing the name, maybe. I'm actually gonna leave it there for now because it wants to be there. So we're gonna follow the energy. Anyway, like the video, share the video. Tell me what are your thoughts in the comment. And what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that any one of these women are possible candidates elected, to be elected for president? Because truth be told, it's that season. And if yes, are you voting for Kamala Harris? Oh my God. More than likely the people will. Okay, it's all just to be tricked, and to learn the hard way. I guess, right? Listen, like the video, share the video. Like I said, what are your thoughts on this? Whew, I got to go.